The Buick Grand National and its high-performance GNX counterpart are rare gems in American automotive history. Born during a time when muscle cars were on the decline, Buick, of all brands, boldly redefined the American muscle car without relying on the traditional V8 engine. Instead, it used a turbocharged V6, a revolutionary move for a brand that had long been associated with luxury and not performance. But that doesn't mean that they didn't build performance vehicles. You see, Buick's performance lineage dates back to the 1930s, with models like the 1936 Buick Century, which combined a lightweight chassis with a powerful 8-cylinder engine, marking the early days of muscle car concepts. Fast forward to the 1960s, and Buick's Skylark Grand Sport stood tall alongside muscle car legends like the Pontiac GTO, ushering in a new era of high-performance intermediates. However, as emission regulations, safety concerns and fuel economy standards hit in the 1970s, the muscle car dominance waned. By the early 1980s, GM's divisions, including Buick, shifted back to more modest offerings, but Buick, with its roots still in performance, had different plans. You see, by the early 1980s, Buick had surprisingly become a dominant force in NASCAR's Grand National Series, winning the Manufacturers' Cup in both 1981 and 1982. It was a moment of triumph for Buick, which celebrated this achievement by introducing a road-going performance model based on its Regal, the first Grand National. Launched in 1982, the initial Grand National was a celebration of Buick's NASCAR success, sporting distinct two-tone silver and black paint, Lear Siegler bucket seats, and an aggressive body kit. However, under the hood, it wasn't quite the beast muscle car enthusiasts had expected. Most of the cars came with a naturally aspirated 4.1-litre V6, producing a mere 125 horsepower. Only a few lucky units were equipped with a 3.8-litre turbocharged V6 that delivered 175 horsepower and 275 pound-feet of torque, which was a respectable output for the time, but far from the true muscle car standards. You see, the 1982 Grand National was more of a symbolic gesture than a genuine high-performance machine, yet its sleek design and turbocharged engine hinted at what was to come. After taking a break in 1983, Buick returned with a revamped Grand National in 1984. This time, they meant business. While still powered by a 3.8-litre turbocharged V6, the engine now featured sequential fuel injection and a distributed-less computer-controlled ignition system. These upgrades pushed the engine to produce 200 horsepower and 300 pound-feet of torque, impressive numbers for a V6, and more in line with what muscle car fans had been yearning for. The all-black Grand National, often dubbed the Darth Vader car due to its menacing appearance, quickly gained a reputation as a sleeper. Its V6 didn't have the rumbling roar of a traditional V8, but it packed serious performance. The Grand National could sprint from 0 to 60 in just over 7 seconds, matching or beating many contemporary V8-powered cars of the time. By 1986, Buick took the Grand National to a whole new level. The turbocharged V6 now came with an air-to-air intercooler, pushing output to 235 horsepower and 330 pound-feet of torque. This substantial increase made the Grand National one of the fastest American cars of the 1980s, capable of completing a quarter-mile run in the mid-13-second range. At this point, Buick had fully embraced the turbocharged V6 formula, and the Grand National was no longer just a cool-looking car. It was a serious performance machine. This version of the Grand National captured the imagination of enthusiasts, leading to a massive jump in sales. Production numbers for the Grand National rose to over 5,500 units in 1986, marking the car's growing popularity. Then, the 1987 Buick Grand National was even more potent, with power bumped to 245 horsepower and 355 pound-feet of torque. However, Buick wasn't finished yet. In the final year of the Regal platform, the division decided to produce a swan song for the Grand National, one that would become legendary, the Buick GNX, standing for Grand National Experimental. Buick teamed up with McLaren Performance Technologies to create the ultimate Grand National. The GNX featured a re-engineered version of the turbocharged 3.8-litre V6, equipped with a larger Garrett T3 turbocharger, a ceramic impaler, a larger intercooler, and a recalibrated ECU. The result was officially rated at 276 horsepower and 360 pound-feet of torque, but dyno tests revealed that the GNX was actually making closer to 300 horsepower and 420 pound-feet of torque. In addition to the upgraded engine, the GNX featured a unique rear suspension system with a torque arm connected to the differential, improving traction and handling under hard acceleration. This was necessary because the GNX was now capable of blistering acceleration figures. I mean, it could sprint from 0 to 60 in just 4.7 seconds, and it completed the quarter mile in the high 12-second range, which was faster than the Ferrari Testarossa of the same era. Visually, the GNX was distinguished by subtle yet aggressive touches, wider fender flares, functional side vents, and 16-inch wheels that resembled those found on Pontiac's Trans Am. Inside, it had special Stewart Warner gauges and other minor enhancements. Buick originally planned to produce only 200 GNXs, but demand was so high that the production number was increased to 547 units. These limited edition cars became instant classics, with collectors snapping them up almost immediately. At a time when muscle cars were largely defined by V8 engines, Buick dared to go a different route, embracing turbocharging and fuel injection technologies that were far ahead of their time in the American market. The GNX in particular became a symbol of American ingenuity, an unlikely hero from a brand more associated with luxury than performance. Today, the Grand National series, particularly the GNX, is highly sought after by collectors. These cars not only represent a return to American performance during a challenging era for muscle cars, but they also set the stage for future high-performance American vehicles, proving that there was more than one way to build a muscle car. In many ways, Buick's turbocharged V6 experiment was a precursor to the performance philosophies that dominate today's automotive world, where smaller, more efficient engines are routinely turbocharged to produce levels of performance once reserved for much larger engines. The Grand National story is one of daring innovation and American muscle at its finest, just without the V8. But at the end of the video, please let me know what you guys thought of the video and what do you guys think of this car. I personally love the GNX. I think it looks so cool. It's like a really menacing, evil looking car. But yeah, let me know what you guys thought of the video. Let me know what you guys think of this car. And if you guys enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel. And if you guys did like it, you'll most probably like most of my other stuff. So just go through my channel, see if there's someone else like. I'll check you guys in the next one. Cheers, eh?